Okay, hello year one again. Hopefully you've been playing with your little mini clocks I've given you, and hopefully that's helped you with your telling the time that we've been looking at, especially yesterday when you had them. Okay, so the last 2 days we've looked at the two times which you need to be able to tell in year one. We're going to go further with it next week, but when you're in year one, you only need to know how to tell the time 2 o'clock. And when you tell the time 2 o'clock, remember, the long minute hand is up to 12 because it is 0 minutes past the hour. So obviously here I have 7 o'clock, okay? And the other time you need to know in year one for telling the time is half past, when you're halfway round the clock. So I have 7 o'clock here, and I go halfway around the clock. I have half past 7, and look, it's gone a little bit past 7. So it was exactly on 7, but when I spin my clock right round for half an hour, 30 minutes, it's now gone past that 7. And remember, when you use a clock, it must always go clockwise this way, okay? And you know it's clockwise because look, you're following these orders, you're following these numbers as they go up, okay? It cannot go the opposite direction anti-clockwise because we're not going to travel back in time, are we? So today we're going to put what we've done the last 2 days together. We had o'clock and half past. We're going to mix them up now and see if you can notice which clocks are half o'clock and which times are half past. So here it says 1 hour later, it says I wake up at 7 o'clock. So if everyone can put their clock now on 7 o'clock, and then it says 1 hour later, so we want to travel 1 hour round this clock. So the little girl's asking her mum, what time will it be in 1 hour? Like a question, and one of our question words. What time will it be in 1 hour? Well, in 1 hour, it will be 1 full spin around the clock, which is 60 minutes, 1 hour. And watch me spin 1 hour around the clock, back to where I was. So 7 o'clock became 8 o'clock, okay? And watch that clock go round. 7 o'clock became 8 o'clock, okay? So everyone's clock now should be on 8 o'clock. Okay, let's see what our next question is. So, I eat my breakfast at 8 o'clock. What time will it be in 1 hour? So let's move our clock round 1 more hour. So 8 o'clock, we're going to do our 60 minutes, our spin the whole way around 1 hour, and 8 o'clock becomes 9 o'clock. And it's an easy way to remember because 7 add 1 was 8, and then we've added on another hour. So 8 add 1 is obviously 9. So 9 o'clock. It spin around, and it's going to go, when it's o'clock time, don't forget the little hour hand is going to be exactly at the 9. It doesn't need to go past because it is 0 minutes past 9. Okay, I read my book at 11 o'clock. So let's everyone move our clocks to 11 o'clock. So we're on 9 o'clock now. We need to get to 11 o'clock. How many hours is that? Well, 9 counting on 10, 11 must be 2 hours. Let's check. 1 hour. 2 hours, yes. 9 plus 2 was 11. So the girl reads her book at 11 o'clock. What time will it be in 1 hour from 11 o'clock? Well, 11 plus 1, that can work it out. Let's see what it is. 11 plus 1 more is, of course, 12 o'clock. That's when she will probably be finished reading her book. Okay. Next one. I eat my lunch at 12 o'clock, same as us in school. I eat my lunch at 12 o'clock. What time will it be in 1 hour? And that's when we finish our lunch and our playtime. 1 hour later. Now, 12 plus 1 is 13, isn't it? But don't forget, the clock stops in 12 and it starts again. So 12 becomes 1 again. So if I do 1 hour, at 12 o'clock will change to 1 o'clock, not 13 o'clock, because that doesn't exist except on a 24-hour clock, which we don't need to know about yet, okay? So 12 o'clock is going to become 1 o'clock, okay? I ride my bike at 2 o'clock, so let's move our clock on to 2 o'clock, making sure we go clockwise, okay? What time will it be in an hour? I'm actually going to change that question. If it's 2 o'clock, what time will it be in 3 hours? So you're on 2, you're going to add on 3 hours, so 2 plus 3, that will tell you what o'clock it is. So I've done my 2 plus 3, and I'm going to do my 3 spins now. and see if I get the same thing. 1, 2, 3. So 3 hours later than 2 o'clock would be 5. Okay, let's do another one, okay? This girl eats her dinner at 5 o'clock. I want you to do 5 o'clock. I want you to do, instead of 1 hour later, I want you to do 1 hour earlier. So in that case, you can make your clock go anti-clockwise to go back in time. So 1 hour less than 5 o'clock, we go backwards. 5 take away 1 is 4. 5 o'clock take away 1 hour is 4 o'clock. Okay. Oh, I have my bath at 6:30. So I want everyone now to make your clock turn to 6:30, okay? So I'm going to move my clock. Well, I'm on 4 o'clock, so I'm going to move to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then I'm going to move halfway round. So I've got 6:30, and don't forget my hour hand is gone a little bit past because it is in between 6 and 7 now. It is 6:30. Okay, what time will it be in an hour this time? So remember, we're doing 1 full spin of our minute hand, so we do 60 minutes. So 1 full spin to take me back to where I started. 6:30 became, what time does that say? 6:30. What numbers had just gone past? Let's look in their clock and we will see nice and clearly because the screen's nice and lit up. 6:30 became 7:30. So 6:30 add 1 hour became 7:30. Okay. Okay. So we remind ourselves there are 24 hours in the day and they're split into 2 groups of 12 hours. 12 hours in the morning and 12 hours in the afternoon. So 12 hours in the AM in the morning and 12 hours in the PM afternoon. Okay. 1 hour is 60 minutes. And remember, we saw that by counting on our clock up in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay. We use clocks to help us tell the time. Okay. The big hand points to the minute. We don't need to. Let's move on. Okay. So we have, when it is a clock, of course, we know the big hand, the minute hand is up at 12. When it is a 6:30 time, we know the minute hand is down at 6. Okay, so what time is on this clock? Let's read it together so we know it's a 6:30 time. It's 6:30. Which hand has this gone past? Well, it's ticking that direction, so it's just gone past 6. 6:30. Okay. Okay. Which clock says 4:30? I think there was a mistake there in the PowerPoint. Which clock says 4:30? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Which clock? Shout out at home. Is it 1, 2, or 3 for 4:30? I can hear lots of people shouting number 3, and you are right. Number 3 is 4:30. Okay. Which clock says 9 o'clock? So it's a clock time this time. Where should that big hand be? Well, we know it's going to be one of these 2 clocks because they both have the minute hand pointing up to 12. So 9 o'clock, well done if you got it at home, it is the middle one. Okay. Which clock says 3:30? Well, we know 3:30 times the minute hand needs to be pointing down towards 6. So it can't be that one. Which one is 3:30? Well, that one's on the total other side of the clock, so we know that this one is 3:30. Okay. Okay. Which clock says 9:30? Well, we know it must be one of these 2 because they're both on down at 6 with that minute hand. 9:30. Well done if you spotted that it is the third one. Okay. Which clock shows 12 o'clock? Okay, 12 o'clock. We know the minute hand must be up at 12 because that's no clock time, so it cannot be the third one. Which one's 12 o'clock? Well, that's nice and easy. That's 5 o'clock. Of course, our first one is 12 o'clock. Okay, we'll just do one more. Okay, which clock says 1:30? Okay, so let's look at them. 1:30, remember, 1:30 is 6. So we know the 1:30 is going to be second or third clock. Look carefully at your hour hand and see. We have 6:30. Here we have between 1 and 2, 1:30. Okay, and we're going to move on now because I'm going to show you what type of questions you have got today. So, some of your questions, you have to write the time shown in each clock. Now, we are writing the time in words, okay? Because this is an analog clock. This isn't like an alarm clock type of clock, like a digital clock. This is an analog clock. So we are writing something o'clock or half past something. And I've written here, something o'clock. That's where your number will go in. And I've written, when I spell clock, remember, words that have a k sound at the end have a curly k and a kicking k. And I've got half past, and there's a sneaky little L in there. So be careful. Maybe your mum or dad could write these at the top of the page first to help you when you do this. So let's look on my first one. So my first time is, I can tell it's a half past time because the long minute hand is down at 6. So I'm going to write half past. So I know it's half past, but what has it just gone past? Well, it's ticking, it's ticking, it's ticking. Has it gone past 1 or has it gone past 2? You have to think carefully about which way the hands of the clock move. It is half past 1. If it was half past 2, it would have to be actually past the number 2. So half past 1. Okay, let's look at my next clock. I have here, I know it's a half past time because it's down at 6 and it's halfway around the clock, that minute hand. Half past. Remember, my clock is ticking. Clockwise, 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 clockwise. What number has it just gone past? It has just gone past 7. It's harder to read from that side of the clock. Okay, then my third clock here, I have an o'clock time. So I'm going to write O apostrophe o'clock. And I remember curly k and kicking k for end of a k word. What number is it? What o'clock is it? They're nice and easy, aren't they? I can see from my hour hand that it is 11 o'clock. So you've got some of those. Be careful because they are mixed up, the o'clock and the half past. Then, a little bit harder, we did some of this yesterday, but a little bit more practice. Read the time. So we have here 3 o'clock. So I know o'clock is up at 12, so I'm going to do my long minute hand the whole way up to the top, and my little arrow. And I'm going to do a slightly shorter hand for the hour hand, so 3 o'clock. A little bit shorter, okay? But exactly at 3 because it's exactly 0 minutes past 3. But then for this time here, quite handy, I have half past 3. So I'll do my minute hand the whole way down, nice and long to 6. And I need to be half past 3. So I'm not going to draw my hand here because that isn't showing that it's gone past 3. I want to look like it's gone a little bit past 3, so it's halfway between 3 and 4, or somewhere in between at least, okay? Then I'll do one more. I have for my other one, half past 5, so I'll do my minute hand the whole way down, nice and long, and then my hour hand, not as long, but I want it to go past 5, so in between 5 and 6, half past 5, okay? Take your time with drawing your hands, try and do them nice and straight, okay? So best of luck with that, and we will be back doing some more time all of next week, okay? And then when you come back to school, we're doing something which I really like doing in maths, counting money. And believe it or not, kids, for some reason, are better at counting money than they are at just adding normal numbers. See, it's a strange phenomenon. So see you for that next week, but let's do this little bit more practice of time, okay?